Welcome to the Save Par Golf Podcast. I'm your host, Derek.
I was not prepared for that. You changed it up.
I did a little bit.
I'm Dominic.
We are very excited about episode 100 as we welcome Jason Schultz with Golf Broccoli. Make sure to give him a follow on Instagram. His Instagram handle is at Golf Broccoli. Also, this episode is sponsored by Swanee's Golf, which we are both rocking some of their merchandise. Dom is wearing the Camden hoodie. I'm rocking a quarter zip, and you can get 25% off your order by using code SAVEPAR25. Jason, thanks so much for hopping on the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
This is our 100th episode.
Yeah.
And I did switch up the intro a little bit.
Normally there's more to it. I had mentioned on like a different episode, number 100 for me was meant to be like, I was gonna basically match or mishmash a bunch of like clips together. It was gonna be just like a compilation type thing.
Yep.
Guess who forgot to listen to 99 episodes to get 99 clips?
Listen, it sounds good in theory. Like I have a lot of ideas like that you're like, I'm gonna do this, and then time just slips away. And I'm the consolation prize. That's fine. That's fine.
We're happy to have you as the 100th.
I'm thrilled to have you.
100th episode.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My issue is it got close. It got to like episode like 90, and I'm like, oh, I didn't do that. Well, I forgot.
The nice thing
is,
and then
it's like a next week, and then
we'll just put it off to the next one. But like Tom said, we'll shoot for maybe 150th episode or something.
Maybe whenever we don't have a guest, I'll like take the time.
Yeah.
Listen to a handful because I don't listen to them.
I do, but I like it's occasional and it just depends.
I call you out on a lot of them.
Yeah, no, the intro of the last one he called me out on. He's like, "Don't, Derek's not even listening to this." I like immediately texted him after you sent it
because I made you listen to the ad.
Yeah,
you lived it. So like if
well, he said, yeah, listen to the ad. It's like in like minute like number 3 or whatever. It was like close to 4, but like I listened to the beginning and right in the beginning, straight out just calls me out.
Yeah, Derek's not here, sitting at home.
Yeah. I was supposed to, for the record, I was supposed to do a jiu-jitsu class. And then word got kind of crazy. And normally we record on Tuesdays, but the episode was recording on Monday. So it kind of threw things off. So anyway,
here we are.
Well, it was all in the name of martial arts. So, it's all in good fun.
But
and for people listening, I would like to point out we have beautiful lighting. I don't look like a ghost.
Yes. Dom has got some like professional lights here.
Yeah, they're pretty.
I feel like we're in like a legit studio now at the headquarters.
You guys look great. I mean, you sort of put me. I
turned on my computer.
Too. I don't know. I mean, next to you guys are sort of showing me up, but I'll take it again, like consolation prize. It's story of my life.
You know what's crazy? I bought like a $60 webcam, which is what this is, and it's like phenomenal.
Yeah, the quality is really nice.
Yeah.
I've also noticed that as far as like webcams are concerned, this is like an older iMac, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got this last year. Well, it was actually like 3 years ago. Yeah. And technology, that's like basically 4 decades in technology. Yeah. So, I look like I'm sort of talking to you probably from like a 2008 flip phone, but
like 2005.
Mine, the one we're using is actually from Anker. And I was like, what does Anker know about cameras? Because they make like the cords and like the chargers and everything. It shoots at like 2.7K, which is fine because everything gets condensed down anyways. And it was legitimately like $60 on Amazon.
I might have to look into that, or just get a new computer altogether. But the
webcam might be cheaper.
It's going to be getting a webcam. Yeah.
Well, we want to learn a little bit more about you. Can you tell us a little bit about?
All right, we're taking a quick break from this episode. We're super excited to say that this one is sponsored by our good friends at Swanee's Golf Co. Swanee's here, fresh take, fresh apparel, but it's all performance based. Super cool. It's super fun. Hoodies, polos, hats, towels, quarter zips. They even have shorts. Really, they have stuff for everybody and affordable. They look good and make it feel good. Honestly, I can't say enough good things about it. I'm rocking it. In the future, Derek will be rocking it. But yeah, thank you to Swanee's sponsoring this episode and a bunch of the future ones. Feel free to use code SAVEPAR25 and take 25% off your order. Not even your first order, be any order from Swanee's. Support us, support Swanee's. Use code SAVEPAR25. Look good, feel good, play good. But also, why not save some money while you're at it, right?
It was called King Par Golf at the time in Flint, and just like beat a bucket of balls, and I sort of like fell in love with it. And in every summer in Michigan, we'd golf. And my parents had a place near a golf course up in northern Michigan, which is just like beautiful, beautiful up there. Great golfing, and yeah, it was just something we did all the time in the summers. Again, it's in Michigan, so you're sort of handcuffed by the weather, the ups and
Yep.
downs of the weather. In 2005, I moved to New York City, and I was 25 at the time, and golf just was not. It wasn't as available as it was in Michigan, and also you're up against the elements as well. And if you do want to play, there's a driving range over on the west side of Manhattan called Chelsea Piers. They have a cool driving range that you sort of like hit out into the Hudson River. But then if you wanted to play, you're like trekking it out. So for about 15 years, like the clubs just collected dust. Well, fast forward to like 2019, I met my wife. We had a couple kids. We realized New York wasn't for us, so we moved out here to New York, or out here to LA. And just by like sort of circumstance, we moved onto a tee box of a golf course. Like I'm looking at a tee box of a golf course right now,
Oh,
and
nice.
I was, I work from home and primarily in working from my office, so I'd always see golf. I always see golfers just going past the window, and initially I was like, man, got golf. Like it's been so long, and oh man, and then I started to get my interest was piqued again. I was like, man, I used to golf quite a bit, and like let me try to get back into it. So just as I was about to sort of like go peek my head back into the golf world, COVID hit in 2020, and it sort of just derailed that. And again, like I've got two young kids, and so we were stuck at home, and just things were really tough. Well, I guess it was 2021. It was just like, COVID we were sort of through it, but we were managing through it, but we were still sort of new to being in California. Our network hadn't really grown as much. And my wife was like, Jason, go up to that club, just talk to them, see what's up. Like, you never know, maybe you'll get back into it, love it. And I went up to that club, and the deal was too good to be true. And this sounds so cliche, and I even hate saying it, but it was like, it changed everything. The game meant so much more now, like to me as a dad with responsibilities, and a career and a wife and kids and a house, as opposed to being 11 or 20 or 24 in the summer in Michigan, where it's like I'm home from school, or it's like after a shift at the restaurant I was working at, we'd play a twilight round. It was just sort of a recreational thing, where now it is more like almost like my therapy. And again, I know a lot of people, I didn't get that for a long time. I didn't understand that, but when it really struck me, um I that's exactly what it is for me. It's my outlet. I have met so many people, either digitally or in real life, because of golf for the past 2 years, almost like twofold than I did in my entire college experience. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's one of those exponential networking experiences that like you don't even try. If you're having fun and you're surrounding yourself with other people that are just having fun with this game, it's sky's the limit. And I've just seen that firsthand. And so like, the past couple years, just doing golf broccoli is just sort of fun and as an outlet, is just sort of like really opened me up to this niche of an industry. And I'm sort of just, trying to take as much as I can get while the iron's hot, so to speak.
How close did you say you live from the golf course, right? You said it's like right out
I'm,
your window. You can see.
yeah, I mean, it's close. It's like 200 yards. Let's see.
Do you ever just take like a horn and just like I don't know. That was like my
Funny,
immediate reaction right off the bat.
dude, it's funny you say that, because the first year or two when I was sitting here and I wasn't an active golfer, I was like a dormant golfer. I thought about that so much, and I would chirp them from afar, or like I
Yeah,
would have
just kind of mess with them.
commentary.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. The
And then,
commentary would be fantastic.
exactly, I would do that on my Instagram, my other like another account. I would just sort of like commentate these people who couldn't hear me, and it was just sort of silly. But looking back, I think I was just like bitter and jealous that I wasn't out there golfing with them. Like it just had been so long for me, you know what I mean? So yeah, it just I started doing Golf Broccoli out of a just I wasn't going to inundate, you know, my other like artistic account or my other business account with golf stuff. I was like, all right, I just gotta make an account and I'll get it all out on there. And it's just, you know, it's just snowballed for me personally and professionally. And it's been a real fun couple of years, and it makes me like very excited for not only me personally going forward with my career, but just golf in general. Like I think the game is just in a really fun place right now, and really just really capitalizing on a lot of the technology that's out there and the streaming services and the ability to network and not even, you know, y'all are in what, Colorado, right? Is that where y'all are at?
What's that?
God, I
Oh,
wish that'd be cool.
We're out of Minneapolis,
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Minneapolis. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah,
Colorado
yeah.
would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Oh, Minneapolis. So yeah,
it's
no,
kind of close. No, I'm just kidding.
Climate wise, yeah.
Listen, I've got love for the Midwest. I've got love for the Midwest. I'm from Michigan, so you know, Minneapolis is all good.
You were
by
talking
me.
about Michigan, and I have never played Michigan golf until it was 2 years ago. And same thing, like we love the Midwest golf here. I think Minnesota is a very underrated state for golf. But I was kind of blown away the few courses that I played. And I played out Forest Dunes.
Okay.
That was really cool. But
You know what blew me away? He said he was playing golf in 91.
yeah, he did.
I wasn't even a thought in 91.
Well, you know, I probably shouldn't say that. I mean, my ability is going to make me probably it's going to date me a little bit, but yeah, I mean, I've been swinging for a long time, but I took
I
a
would
long
never have guessed.
He could have been 1 years old though at 91 and
He
just
said
had
he
a
was
club.
11.
I
Well,
was
that's
11.
true. He did
See,
say
I
that.
was
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, I heard.
Listener and good at math. This Dominic guy.
Yeah,
I like this
that's
guy.
definitely not me. Yeah, no, no,
Well,
not
I'm
that.
not either,
Yeah.
but I can do that math.
I heard a couple things and I was like trying to like figure out my next question I want to ask you, but
I was almost like, what's golf in the 90s like?
correlation with 1991 though over here locally. Dom's a huge baseball fan. The Twins won the World
Twinsies.
Series
was
that
so
year.
was Kirby Puckett era?
It was the
Yep.
Kirby Puckett
Yep.
era.
Okay.
Touch 'em
Yes.
all, Kirby Puckett.
So there's some ties right there. So you
There
can
you
relate
go.
to that.
I wasn't
I mean,
around.
yeah, no,
I wasn't even a thought.
no. But you're a big Twins guy, I guess.
I
Kind of what I'm
am.
saying. So
Big
that's why.
Twins guy. Okay, I'm a Tigers guy. Someone asked me yesterday. They're like, "What?" You know, they asked me. They're like, "Are you excited for the Phillies game?" And I said, "Why would I be? I mean, no offense, but why would I be? You know, I don't never lived in Philly in my life." And I said, "No, I'm a Tigers guy." And he's like, "Tigers? Why would you be the Tigers guy?" I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy." I
Like Tiger
my
Woods,
Tigers,
yeah.
and they're fine. Like '84 was a good year. But you know, we've had some shine since then, but no. That's good to know that you're a Twins guy. I will remember that.
Yeah.
Kirby, touch them all.
We were talking about this before we were hopped on air here. Where did the name Golf Broccoli come from? Because we were like, I'm like,
Derek's like, is it like a weed thing? And I was like, I don't think so. Because then I saw last night you literally posted a picture of just broccoli. And I was like, maybe it's like, because like in hockey, they call hair lettuce. I was like, maybe it's like a hair thing. And I was like, no, that's lettuce.
so, and then I'll let you answer. But I Googled something. I'm like, well, maybe I'll find something that's, relevant to it. And
Because personally, I love broccoli. One
I love broccoli too.
top tier veggie.
We love food. So golf. I mean, food. We always talk about food in the podcast. But the only thing I could come up with was when Henrik Stenson was talking about it in the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay. Was talking about the greens were like broccoli essentially, and not in a good way as far as. So like, I'm assuming something in relation to that.
So it's sort of all of that and none of that at the same time, because to be quite frank, it's sort of nonsense. It is sort of just like sort of just nonsense. Like I said, I out of desperation and out of sparing my friends and family all of this golf content, I needed to make a handle. And there was an old art project and a guy I used to work with back in New York named Dan Broccoli, and there was always sort of like this inside joke with him and I. And so it was sort of like this nod to that project. At the same time, you know, some of my bread and butter for a long time as a photographer and like image creator was for real estate. And you know, I'd be flying drones everywhere. Then I was really starting to do that on golf courses and doing that a lot. And especially our course, there's a very definitive look of like broccoli stalks coming up. So that was part of it. And it's green. Is there a weed aspect to it? Maybe. Depends on your favorite topic.
It's
But
catchy though
like
too.
I'm sorry.
It's catchy too, golf broccoli, but like, and the logo is awesome.
Thank you. And I was gonna say, Derek, that was the biggest point I was gonna make is I found right away that it was super catchy. So like I wasn't even like really trying to promote it, but people at my club, it would just, you hear it, it sort of rolls off the tongue and it just piques your interest and it sounds funny. And I've seen it and said it and heard it so much and been so close to it that like, I don't know, it's almost like I can't even imagine what it would be like if you hear it for the first time, but it's just, everyone knows what golf is, everyone knows what broccoli is, but it just, you're sort of like, what is that? The true story is it's sort of nonsense, but it's also sort of everything you just said. And the essence of it is really just like, you know, good time golf. You know, it's not reinventing the wheel. There's a lot of people out there that really are like, we're in here for the love of it. And some of it is the, shotgunning beers and debauchery, which, you know, there's a corner for that. And that's fine. Some of it is the super buttoned up or like the super fashiony. And it doesn't even matter if you're a 30 handicap, as long as you style up. That's cool too. I think for me, what golf broccoli that I try to sort of make universal is like, you know, you can't take any of it too seriously, because at the end of the day, it is just a game. And even if you are a pro that like your livelihood depends on it, like, I guess it can always be a blessing and a curse, but that's your livelihood, and you gotta have a wink and a smile with a lot of things. And so that's sort of like what golf broccoli means and is, and was. People at my club just call me broccoli. They just call me golf broccoli just because. Also, any Joshes or Jasons out there can probably sympathize with this, but the amount of times that someone has like called me Josh or Justin or something, like for some reason Jason and my face don't like click with people, but golf broccoli sure does. They don't forget that ever, one time, and they remember me. So it's catchy, and I sort of just ran with it, and it's too late to change it now. So
it's a good conversation piece too. I mean, like, what is golf broccoli? And like, bam, then you go. It's something that you can kind of talk about pretty easily.
Yeah.
I love how you're like, is it like a weed thing? I'm like,
I just didn't know. Like, I was like, I mean, I could see it being that way, or I could see it like you said, it's kind of all sorts of things all in one. But it's, you see, you're in your profile talking about like, smile, golf slide, like this kind of just taking it not too seriously, right? And that's kind of the beauty of golf, is sometimes I think we get too.
I think we get too caught up in it and we don't enjoy the little things enough.
Yeah, 1,000%. And like I can be the first one to be guilty of like, getting frustrated or getting, not being able to let a shot go, or just even like as simple as that. But at the end of the day, it's just sort of like any day on the courses, you got to be thanking yourself that you're out there. I try to take a lot of pictures. You never know what's going to turn out to be a good picture, what's not. It's just sometimes doesn't even do it justice. Dominic, I think you said you're a shooter, right? You shoot quite a bit.
Yeah.
Do you shoot on the course, or do you not? Or like, and if you do, are you just a cell phone shooter, or do you bring your camera out, or like, what do
I
you
think
do?
every course we've been invited to this year, I have brought my camera out. So
Okay.
my main lens, I've been using the RF 24 to 102
Okay.
f4, like big guy.
Yep.
With like one of the Peter McKinnon VND filters and just kind of going to town. I've been doing a lot of portraits and a lot of cars lately.
Cool.
But whenever we go play golf, I've always got my RP on me. The funny part is I bought like an A6300 used.
Uh-huh.
I never use it.
Interesting.
I was like, man, this camera I'm going to keep with me at all times, and I still just gravitate towards my big ass lens and my big ass camera. But no, I love it. I've gotten some cool shots of Derek playing. Um, Courses are like, hey, you guys want to come out? And we're like, sure. They're like, yeah, just take pictures, make videos. So I'm always out there clicking pictures. I've definitely used my cell phone, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I guess I have all this camera gear at my disposal, so why not use it? That's how I initially found you. I know we were talking a little bit before. Um, it might have been Nelson, Tacos at the Turn, who was like, hey, you guys should have Golf Broccoli on. And I initially followed you a while ago. And I was like, oh man, he takes pictures. Like, I love all the golf photography. And then like the algorithm like took you away from me, if you want to look at it like that.
I know
And
the
then
feeling.
like you just like reappeared, and now it's like more golf content, more behind the scenes stuff and everything like that. And I really like that too. But I
Cool.
love the photography and like the golf court and like the golf pictures and stuff like that. We might have to get one for our studio.
Yeah, I found like because I like to shoot photography too, but I just haven't done it like I used to. But I always found like unless like I'm going to play like a top tier course or something like that, for me it's just always been a little bit easier to have my phone instead of I mean I brought my Sony camera to some courses before, but
I mean,
sometimes I feel like it's just like it depends on what your purpose is for golf. Are you there just to like have fun and create some content, or are you actually there to like try to play golf and maybe just capture a couple videos on your phone and make a reel? You know what I mean? I think
I do.
with the
Yes.
technology on the phones nowadays, you can create some cool content just by using a phone.
yeah, I
But
mean
it's nice to have
my
all.
phone shoots in 8K,
Yeah.
you know.
So we yeah, he normally will bring his his camera and we'll get some nice photos and videos, but sometimes it's just super convenient just to snap stuff with your phone, you know?
Dude, I'm the same way, and it took me a minute to realize that because when I did get back into golf, I was like, well, I'm gonna golf and content create. And it's like, yes, you can do both at the same time, but
Mhm.
like both are sort of gonna suffer. And then I found like, okay, some days if I really wanted to try to play well, I'd put my camera away. And so there is sort of this teeter-totter effect. I have found personally for me that my cell phone, my iPhone is usually just the only one I shoot with because if I do have a camera out there, forget everything else. Like it'll be too distracting for me. Um, and yeah, I have gone out a couple times on our course just to shoot people and like sort of hid behind a tree and had
You're
like a really
shooting people?
yeah. You can stay with us. This isn't going to go live anywhere, right?
Clip it. We're gonna clip it.
Yeah, that one's clipped. Okay.
Because
I had to say it.
as
Sorry.
a lover of photography, I wanted to see, I wanted to shoot that for a while and see
Yep.
what it was like. You just shoot the motion and whatnot. But what I have found is like I prefer shooting just like landscapes on the golf course, and especially with landscapes with any cell phone, it's great. Now, if you want to start doing more portraits or action stuff, yes, depending on the lighting, you can do this kind of stuff, and you can get some great results. But if I'm going to go out on the golf course, if I want to do portrait stuff, I'm going to bring my big boy camera, and then my clubs are going to become like a third sort of priority to me, and then I just would have to adjust from there. But it is
So
fun, man. I mean, like it's cool. I've always, people always say, "Do you prefer Twilight or do you prefer Dawn?" That's always like a question in golf, and I'm always curious people's answers and why. And mine is always because the shadows look different. I play my course mostly in the morning, and once in a while I'll get out there to play in Twilight, and it feels like a different course because certain fairways that were bright at say 8 a.m. at 5:30 or 6, now they have shadows sort of strewn over them. So it's fun. It's really because lighting is such a big thing in photography and landscapes. Hopefully you're near a golf course that has beautiful landscapes. It can sort of be endless. It's always just sort of like beautiful for me to walk around there and just snap pictures here and there. But yeah.
so funny enough, I hate landscapes. Like I do not like to sit out there and just take pictures.
Yeah.
Um, I if I'm out there, I prefer to like just to take it all in and kind of put everything down. I'm kind of one of those people. The
Mhm.
only time I do landscapes is when it's like on a golf course or I'm like having to shoot some film. Like I'll shoot like
Okay.
film landscapes and everything.
Yeah.
I think that has more to do with like the way the film look, like obviously Kodak's a little bit warmer, Fuji's a little bit cooler,
You
stuff
shoot
like
a lot of
that.
film, Dominic? You
Yeah.
shoot a lot of film? Do you? Nice, nice.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
like I actually just shot a car and some portraits. So I did both of them on film with two different rolls. Um, so I'll bring my camera, my drone, and then like a film camera. So like
Yeah.
I just come like loaded. Um, but we've been lucky enough to play a lot of really cool, kind of high end, kind of like bucket list courses this year. So like
Mhm.
we played Half Moon Bay.
Yeah, that was
We
sick.
did the Ocean Course. So again, I got my camera with me.
Yeah.
Nice.
We
Yeah.
were then invited to play TPC Twin Cities for the 3M Open. We were in the media
Saw that.
day event.
Yeah.
Again, I gotta have my camera because we played it in, with the grandstands and like with the big 3M sign. Um, it's one of those things where it's like I never grew up knowing I would enjoy photography,
Mhm.
but I'm enjoying where it has taken me. It's the same thing like with this, right? Like we're not the number one podcast. We're not even number two.
We're not the last though.
We're
Yeah.
definitely not the
There
last,
you, there you
but
go.
we're definitely on a ride and I enjoy where this is taking us, whether we like explode or not.
Yeah,
It's all kind of related, right?
yeah, and in the connections too, like we were talking about social media, the networking, the connections. I mean, it's just really cool and mind blowing how many people you talk to from all over the country, let alone some people from different countries. So it's definitely
I just want to play with my camera now.
All right. See you
but
guys.
no, yeah. No, so it is really cool. The networking is awesome. I do want to kind of talk to you about some of the merchandise that you have that's on your website, which is really cool. So I want to ask some of those questions.
So I have a favorite one.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I think it's pretty obvious.
I think so too, and I think if it's what I think it is, I was already going to send you one like immediately.
Which one is it? I'm not sure.
Is it the long-haired golfer?
The long-haired golfer. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
That's pretty sick.
Hell yeah.
I
you
like
need
that.
that. You need that. You need that. It's
Well,
so
and I like you got a nice flow going here too. So I one time I was like, I normally have short hair. I always have short hair, and I'm like, I'm just gonna grow my hair out once. And I did the old man bun thing for a while, and I actually really liked it.
Pain in the ass.
So
But
how?
it is-
Wait, no, no. Now, was your hair like this length, and then you were like, "I'm gonna grow it out"?
Yeah, usually my hair is always kind of to this length.
Okay, and
So
so
one year, this was
like
probably
about
like
this length?
2016, 2017.
Okay,
I'll have to find a picture of it. It was a long time ago, but I was like, I'm just committed to it. I'm like, I just want to grow my hair out long once. So like, yeah, it was basically pretty much pulled back, shaved kind of all here and slicked back and had the man bun. I don't think it was as long as your hair. I can't really see from
yeah,
the back.
mine sort of goes. Yeah,
No, it wasn't that long. No, that's a
yeah.
nice flow.
But with
The
mine
scrunchie
started
too. Is that a
dude,
duck
yeah, you know
scrunchie?
what color I got here today? What color is
Oh, I thought it
it?
was a duck for a second. Yeah, you
No,
got a
mine
nice
started
flow
as a
cooking. So
joke.
mine.
I was
Oh,
the
go
same
ahead.
way. I wanted to. I was like, I'm gonna grow mine once. I've never ever had my hair long. Most of the time, it was like buzzed, and I was married, and I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair, and she's like, all right. And it was 2015. It was actually October of 2015 is when I started growing my hair. And after about a year and a half, she's like, okay, enough. And I said, I'm gonna grow it to my butt. And she said, no, you're not. And then I was like, well, now I have to. So I kept up with it for like 3 more years. And dude, I didn't make it all the way to my butt, but it was close. I got close. And then it just got too much. And I was like, this has gotta like trim down. So I've always said I'm just gonna rock it till it falls out or until I can't take it anymore.
No, it looks good, man. You rock it well.
That's my attitude. I don't
Yeah.
think I'll go bald because, like, I have a lady who cuts my hair and she always tells me how obnoxiously thick it is. She also yells at me because I never go in on like a timely basis. Um, I think the last time I actually had it like gone in to like do anything with my hair was whenever I was the best man in a wedding, and that was a couple years ago at this point.
I actually had my barber come to
Yeah.
my house now. I'm to the point where he just shows up. He was here actually yesterday.
Isn't it your barber, your wife?
No,
Oh.
no, I have a barber that he actually used to work like down close to my apartment here, and then he moved for work into New Jersey, and it really sucked. So then I was like, now I have to go to a actual like barber shop, but they charge way more.
Oh,
Yeah.
see,
You
I
know,
just go to a salon.
I used to for so many years, then I missed out. I'm like, like there's so many things that you can do with your hair depending on your style. But anyway, the funny thing we are talking about growing the hair out. So when I first started growing the hair out, I don't know, I'm sure you probably felt this before too, but there was like 3 or 4 times. So I used to go to Great Clips, like sit back in the day.
Oh, I don't go
And
down.
and I was there was 3 different occasions where I sat in there. And you know how they have you well, if you don't go there, you don't know, but they have like the call ahead, whatever, you're on the list, right? And like my name was like fourth on the list. So then it's like boom, now I'm on third on the list. While this whole thing is going on, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I really want to cut my hair now because I've already got it going so good. I walked out 3 separate times because I just like I got that like, why do I want to quit now? I'm already like, but it was to the point where it was like really annoying, but like there's those growing pain stages, right?
Yeah. Wait, and so
And
you would see your name on this list, like slowly
yeah,
getting to the top, and you're like pulling the
yeah.
ripcord, like,
So yeah,
yo,
just take my name off the list. Yeah. So like
yeah,
Great Clips, yeah, I forget what it's called, but it's like you can put your name on the list before you get there, and it'll be like
yeah, yeah,
estimated
yeah, yeah,
15
yeah,
minutes. So you get there,
yeah.
but it was like longer than that. And I'm like, just seeing the names disappear. I'm like,
That is
uh,
great. That
so
is
I've done
great.
that a couple times, and then yeah, I got to the point where like it had a nice flow going, and I was like, I liked it. I rocked it for probably, I'd say, better part of a year.
So
Like after I fully
you
got it to
both
the point I wanted
also
to.
have like really fucking healthy beards too. Like,
I didn't have the beard
are
though at the
those
time.
real? Are those clip on? Like, can you pull
No,
those
that's real.
off?
He shaped it really nicely, but that's the thing. Like I
Wouldn't it be
didn't.
wild if you tugged your nose and it fell
I'm like,
off?
oh shit! It's like technical difficulties. No, but like I didn't think about growing. Like I always had a beard, but not like to this like extent. I always could grow up my hair really quickly, but I wish I would have now looking back at it, like had the full beard and the hair. But
Do you think your wife would have married you like that?
oh, okay. So just a quick, sorry, we're getting off topic, but first time we went on our first trip together, so my wife and I have been married for almost 5 years now, but we've been dating,
Has it been that long?
yeah, 5 years in
Wow.
June, and then but we've been dating for almost 8 or 9 years. So, but the
Congrats.
first trip we went on to was in Miami, right? And I was a lot younger, a lot
You
skinnier,
were a lot
smaller,
younger.
and we're in Miami, and I'm like, dude, I want to get a full on nice full tan, right? So I go to the bathroom, shave my whole face, and my wife had never seen me without facial hair.
That's
And my wife doesn't really mind like really anything that like as far as like that I do with my hair or whatever it is, but she came out like she saw it go. She's like, "Who the hell just kidnapped my husband or my
yeah. I
boyfriend
mean,
at the time?" So
that
she's like,
can
"No,
that can
yeah,
be
she's like, do never
shocking.
do that again."
Yeah.
Would you be freaked out if I showed up one day, just no beard,
I honestly
haircut?
probably would. Me and Don have known each other for probably,
I've known you before you even got engaged.
yeah, so it's been like 9 years,
Yeah.
almost 10 years. And
And
I mean, he's
was
been
he
rocking
full hair
this.
then?
He's
He was
trimmed it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
not like to the point where like for me, like it wouldn't be like substantial, you know what I mean? Like
I
he
only
trimmed
cut
it.
it when like I can't. So similar to you, I'm gonna rock it till it falls out. Um, the only thing that makes me cut it is like when I can't sleep.
What do you mean?
Sometimes when obviously you don't know this. Um, maybe you know this.
Hashtag short hair problem for me.
Sometimes like when you're sleeping, you just get like tangled up in it.
Just choking
Not
in the
like to
middle of the
that
night.
point, but it's like it's not comfortable to like lay down because you're laying
Yeah,
on it. Um,
I never thought of that. You
and
probably don't need a thick pillow. You just have to.
well, and I don't ever wear mine up. It's never up, it's never back. I just don't like
never.
it.
You mean never when you're sleeping, or never ever at all?
Period.
See, and that's good for your hair. Like I put mine
Yeah,
up
because there's all these new things now where like long hair is the style. We're seeing soccer players do it, and they're balding on the sides. It's
because
because the pony gets pulled back so tight, and then the bouncing fills your hair. Yeah.
Damn,
yep,
I'm
yep.
spitting facts over here. This is
So
giving us
Yeah,
some
no, there.
knowledge.
Listen, it is an art form. It really
Taking
is. I
notes.
mean,
because right now there's a big soccer player. I don't follow soccer, so
Was
I
it
don't.
the that one Zaro guy or whatever, that guy that had to pull straight hair?
Blonde.
Um,
There's one blonde guy who's got it pulled back, and you can see it balding. And I
hmm,
think he's younger than me. It's because the bun is so tight that
okay,
when
and
they
then it's not him.
bounce, it pulls.
Interesting.
So like that's why like women, like especially athletes, they have to let their hair down.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Going back to the
I
man,
also just have like super thick wavy hair that like why would I want to hide it?
I
Yeah.
want to do something though where we can like, I don't know if it's like a bet or
Kidding, no.
something where like I can see we get to see Dom like cut his hair or like not like maybe all off, but
It
like
would have to be for like a good
something.
cause.
That's what I mean. Like
You know,
either it's like a fantasy football thing or like some sort of bet. But
I just want to join the league.
All right, Dom, I have a question. Because I know you've had to have thought of this before. Locks of love.
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
I've thought about it.
Now, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I'll put myself on the spot first, and then I'll put you on the spot. I did get to the point where I'm like, all right, if I am going to rock this till the wheels fall off, maybe I should do 1 or 2 locks of love. Otherwise, you're just like every couple months, like every 6 months, you're taking off a couple inches that could have been like a donation. So I am right on the fence of maybe there will be one day I will do locks of love. However, I need to know how long I need to grow it first. And when they cut it, how short will it go?
That's why I haven't done
Have
it
you
yet
gone down
because
that road
there's
yet?
yeah, that's why I haven't done it because there's like a minimum length they need.
Okay.
And like that, for me, that bothers me because like if you're wanting people to donate their hair, it really should be any length,
Well, I think
except maybe for like Derek,
I
because
think
I
it's
was
just easier to make the wig or
and
the
like
that's-
I understand
Yeah.
that, but
they like
like
bring out the ruler. They're like,
well, like
this is
my issue is
qualified.
my hair gets curly and then kind of poofs up.
Yeah.
So when it's wet, it's even longer.
Yep.
But yeah, they need like a minimum
Yeah. I think
length.
it's like 7 or 8 inches. It's a
Yeah.
decent length.
It is. It is.
Like if I did that, I'd probably have short hair like you.
We're gonna like flip the roles one day. He's gonna shave his or cut his hair, and I'm actually gonna show up with a wig in the podcast. With Dom's hair.
I'll be sitting right there.
Yeah.
Let's do that for Halloween, dude.
Don't even think about it.
Oh yeah.
You should have
No.
done that. You should have done that today. That
It should have been the 100th episode.
On Halloween.
No, but
yeah.
this one, like we just showed like
Oh.
I have different
Yep.
hairstyles,
Yep.
but
Yep.
that is, this has actually been a really good off-topic conversation about hair. I don't think it's funny. We have a lot of comments about Dom's hair, from our guests,
Sure.
but like
Yeah,
we've
nobody
never really gone down the road. Like,
nobody expects it.
yeah, that's also true.
Which is funny because there's definitely videos of me on the page with the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's
And
funny
then-
because like we hosted a tournament. Everyone's like, "Where's Dom? Where's Dom?" And I'm sitting there thinking, "How the hell do you miss me?"
I missed the
like-
flow, man.
Like
they're
the hair,
"I
like,
saw your
yours goes-
bearded-
you have
a
the
bearded
where's he got
lady
the
was
hair?
running around." Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ask this question. Okay, would you rather, if you had one or two options here, you either had to trim your hair,
Mhm.
you could keep your beard, or you have to shave your whole
Oh, I'm
beard
keeping
and
the
keep your
beard.
hair.
I'm keeping the beard.
Yeah.
I would look like a 15-year-old without my beard.
Yeah, I feel like beard really changed your face. So, speaking of how you were saying you were scared and you walked out of whatever
Yeah.
because so I had this fear of like the one day that I am like, I'm gonna cut my hair that I will like want to throw up. About a month ago, I was trimming. I've got like a little stash going, right? No big
Yeah,
deal.
it's good.
And one day I'm sitting in my bathroom and I'm trimming up, and I said to my wife Annie, and she looked at me and I just went zzz on half of it, and she goes, and I just played it off, and I was like, oh well, whatever, and then I like finished the joke, and immediately I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like that so wasn't worth it. Like so, and then you got out, and then it's a waiting game. And there was a couple weeks I went in. I saw a buddy of mine, and he looked at me. He goes, "What's different about you?" I'm like, "Can we not talk about this?" Because
Like throw a Band-Aid or
facial
something,
hair makes a bit.
Oh,
If y'all,
like
if
vanilla.
either of you
Yeah.
shave, if you shave, Derek, you look a completely different person.
Yeah, I
See,
I trim, but
I'm the type of person to like cut my hair, cut my beard, and then like if I was gonna do it, I cut it all off, and I wouldn't tell anybody. I would play it off like,
just
yeah,
roll
it's just
up.
me.
yeah.
Yep, just roll
Yeah,
up.
I'd roll up and everybody be like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "It's me," I just wouldn't say anything.
I
That'd
think
be
that's a
pretty
strong.
cool. I said, it's got to happen one day. I got to see it one day. I have to see. And the only reason why I say this is because I have seen a picture of Dom. You probably like in high school.
So
But he had short hair.
I
and,
had
like,
cut
I was
it-
like, oh my gosh.
so I've been growing my hair since like 3rd grade.
Okay.
And then like in high school, I was like, you know what? Let's cut it. Like, fuck it. Just
So you had like that like long hair going like in high school too?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I was like the first person to do that style because this was back in probably 2012, 2013 when I was in high school. And this was before anybody else was really doing the short and then the over.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
want to say like I kind of pioneered it, even though I really didn't. And
Trendsetter,
I had
trendsetter.
never felt so out of my body
Well, it's a
in my
huge
life.
change though. Yeah, when you do so, when you have something like that for the like your whole life, it's a
Yeah,
big change. And it's like no, it's your appearance too. So it's like the
Yeah.
you know,
I'm kind of waiting to have like the mental awakening and being like, I don't need it anymore. But then every morning I wake up and I'm like, no, I'm good.
yeah,
I
I'm
was like
good.
one last thing about the hair, and then we can change topics. But I was to the point. So before I found this barber, um, like I said, I can go there, or now he comes here. But it's like it's whatever he's kind of feeling. I just kind of let him roll with it. Like that's the trust that we have, which is awesome. But before I found him, my wife and I got married. Well, I was to the point where I was so like worried about someone messing up my haircut, like right before I was getting married. So I really kind of
Oh,
like I got mad at myself because my hair was not on point during the wedding. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like fresh.
I hated your beard.
Well, so like what happened was it was a lot. It was a lot.
It
Um,
was it was it was like super short.
but see, like I
Like it
always
was like a pencil.
yeah, it was like it wasn't like half like the half the beard down here, which makes it nice. It fills it out. It was like kind of cut off like around the chin line,
understand.
but like it wasn't a bad haircut. It was just like it was grown out to the point where like I was due for a new one, but I was so like worried that like they were gonna mess it up on like I didn't want to show up to my wedding day and like have like the world's worst haircut. The cool thing was is
I would
like
do that.
a week later though, like my wife we had a lot of family there, so like we didn't get a lot of photos. So we actually got to like redo our wedding photos like a week later. So I was able to get a haircut after the fact. So it's
Perfect.
kind of funny. You see like our wedding photos, and then you see like our wedding photos like after the wedding, and it's like two different
You got
hair lengths. You know what
you
I
got
mean?
to
Like, what the
take
hell?
two. You got to take two for wedding
Yeah.
photos. Not
So
a lot of
like that
people.
is one thing. Like if there's anything I regret about getting married, it was I should have got my freaking haircut, and I'm really upset about that. But
Yeah, I don't
Dude,
let people touch my hair.
if that's your biggest regret for getting
everything
married,
else,
you're winning, dog.
I'm
You're
winning.
winning.
Everything else is great. So
I don't let people touch my hair. There's only one woman who can touch my hair. Her name's Jessica. I do my own beard though, so like I trim the mustache when I start to like get in my mouth when I'm eating. That's
yeah, I
what
hate
pisses me
that.
off.
Yeah, I hate that.
And once it get past like a certain length down here, I'll trim it and everything. But I do all that myself because then if I screw it up, it's on me.
Yeah.
It's on you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Well,
we
that.
sh- we should we got to get back to that about the
Yeah.
merch though because
Yeah.
we're
Sorry
way
about
off.
that. Yeah, I apologize.
Oh, this,
We'll
I love it.
that was a great conversation though. I was
Long
able
hair
to like
golfer though.
get
That's the
that yeah,
best.
let that off, let that off my chest there a little bit. But okay, so yeah, you have different shirts, hats, different accessories. Do you come up with all your own designs? Do you have
Well,
help?
Dude,
he never asked. He never answered what his favorite one is.
Oh, oh yeah, okay, yeah, go ahead.
my favorite.
Designer shirt or whatever, yeah, your merchandise, whatever.
Oh, it's funny. I just really started doing that recently over the past couple months because people kept asking me if I had it. And I was tired of saying no. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do one or two shirts. And then I was just having fun making the design. So I did do a brand identity system last year at one point. I touched base with a good friend of mine. His name's Ben Douglas. He does a lot of stuff for Roosevelt's. Do you know the brand Roosevelt's?
Roosevelt, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So he and I worked on sort of the brand identity system for the original Golf Broccoli, which is like the swinging one, and then also the one I sent you today with the little golf ball next to it, and then there's like a shield, and then the font, whatever. And then from there, I was just sort of having fun with it, and I put things up and just sort of like, I've always been a pretty creative person. I've never really done it like this, where I'm like, selling merch. I've always more just like sold my time or creativity or expertise. So it's fun to just sort of play in that space. Like it's not a massive income generator by any means. It's more of just like a creative, fun outlet. And it is funny because it is so sort of quirky that it does catch people's eyes, and people are, they're looking at it, good, bad, or indifferent. They're looking at it. So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of them, but like when I saw the lawn care golfer, I was like, yeah,
That one is really cool. I'm
yeah,
actually on the website right
yeah.
now.
Derek's scrolling through all the
I like
shirts.
this. I like the swinging broccoli.
The swinging broccoli I really liked.
Yeah.
I really like. I just got the sweatshirt. It's one of the first ones on the store. It's like a
Yeah, that
sweatshirt.
with
It's
the
like a
embroidered logo on it.
yeah. It's just really
Super.
simple. I ordered one of those for myself actually, um, and it's
I
great. It's
I
good
like
fall
that, especially this time of year for us. Like this is kind of like
for
the
sure. For
time of
sure.
year. I was gonna say I love the Adidas simple logo polo. And it'd be nice to like do one in like I don't know if it would like bode well with like with a black polo. I kind of I like the black polo. I don't know
You know what, man? Like,
if
thank
it
you for that
pops.
feedback. I right now with some of the products, so I'm using like a direct to print. It's like Printful type of thing,
Hmm.
and you're a little bit handcuffed with the merchandise that you print on.
Sure.
And so right now, with like this sort of being like almost like the beta of the Golf Broccoli merchandise, I'm sort of just like experimenting with what they have to offer. Eventually, in a perfect world,
Yeah.
I would like to do maybe something with like a straight down or Puma or something, um, and maybe do some sort of collaboration like that. Do I want to have my own inventory and do all the shipping myself? I don't know. I don't know about right now. I think I like just sort of running with it. If people want to support the movement, like I'm not making really money off this. It's just sort of fun. And eventually, if it turns into something bigger, that's great. But it's really just, it started as a creative outlet. Um, it still will continue to be a creative outlet. And, I sort of parlayed that into, I really wanted to get into the golf industry. And there's a company called Robin Golf, which they're a direct to consumer golf
Oh yeah,
company.
I've heard of Rob. Yep,
Yeah.
Robin Go.
So in February, they were looking for a brand director, and they had seen everything I was doing with Golf Broccoli. So I came on board with them in February, doing a lot of their branding and marketing and collaborative stuff. So I started off Golf Broccoli just as sort of like a fun thing to do, and it has been sort of my foot in the door for the golf industry
Okay,
professionally, and to
sure.
sort of be able to parlay my visual experience and photography, cinematography, editing into sort of content creation for the golf space. So it's been sort of fun. It's been a fun ride, like you guys said. It's a ride, right? And like
Yep.
I'm just
And you
enjoying
can't,
it
like you said,
while
you
it's
can't take
going
it too
on.
seriously. It's not. You said it's more
Yeah,
of like a not a side project, but it's just more of something that it's like a passion, right? It's like you're not.
totally,
If it takes
totally.
off, it takes off. If it doesn't, you're enjoying it while you're doing it. So which is all that really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
but no, they're all really cool. It's Down and I was just zoomed in and showed me the Tupac, the spit and broccoli shirt. That one's pretty dope.
Yeah,
So I've been having some fun with some of the stuff, some of of the iconic stuff and some horror stuff. I think I might be doing I might do some like limited drops and just to try to keep traffic sort of fresh and keep the site sort of fresh. I might do more of stuff like that, incorporating the broccoli logo. I used
Uh,
to have an imprint that I used to do a lot of music business with called Rotten Cake, and I would do sort of something sort of similar with the cake emoji that is on iPhone. So I'm sort of like incorporating that marketing trick that
Yep.
I did a few years ago for that with the golf broccoli stuff, and it's
That,
fun.
that's
It's
that's
sort of
nice.
again it invokes a reaction in some way, shape, or form. So
Um, so you technically didn't answer though which one you liked though, did you?
my
no,
favorite, I think my
Yeah.
favorite, I I think either the sweatshirt or I did rock the pink Tupac shirt to a block party a couple days ago, and that was a big hit. So I don't know. I would say either just something simple like the simple broccoli embroider, or one of the more funky ones like
Sure.
um also my kids, I made that there's like the AI broccoli monster is one that I made just for fun, and my
Really?
kids love that, and like a bunch of like It's called Golf Broccoli Won't Hurt You is what I named it, and it's like this weird looking broccoli monster. I think it's still on there. I thought I still had it on there.
I was gonna say I'm just trying to think it's further down here.
Make sure it's still on
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I just saw it.
I don't know. I like all of them.
Yeah, I do too.
there. Yeah.
You have anything? Do you have anything like in the hopper? Like, you have some new ideas or new designs that you've been kind of playing around with?
No, I mean, I honestly, I really dipped my feet into a lot of the AI generative artwork. That platform, just from like an image making standpoint, there's photography, cinematography, editing, and AI has come along, and I've seen some of the power that it can do. So I sort of leaned into that for a little bit of like a Halloween campaign for Golf Broccoli, where I was sort of just incorporating golf with some iconic horror characters. That was fun. I did get a sort of a fun response of selling those as prints. I'm not sure if I'd want to sell those. I mean, maybe, just for fun, but maybe put those on shirts. I don't know. I'm sort of curious to see how some of these like prints, like the Tupac one, or like the Poltergeist one, or something like the Jaws one. See how those are received. Again, maybe shake those up, because those are fun also for me to create. Inspiration sort of comes from weird places. My wife and I like to watch a lot of throwback movies, and maybe you'll see a screenshot that you're like, oh, if that was broccoli, like, let's flip that. So I'm trying to take some, pages out of that book and run that playbook a little bit. But honestly, I think it's really just been fun to sort of do this beta in quarter four of all this merchandise, and I'm just sort of excited to see what happens the rest of the year, and then maybe realign it next year and do some more, do less. I don't know, maybe do events at some point. I think that would ultimately be pretty cool too.
Sure.
But yeah, man, I'm just enjoying the ride.
You would love Luke from Backblast Golf.
What's his name?
Backblast Golf.
Yeah, he's awesome.
His designs are killer.
Yeah, he's kind of the same. Like, he just kind of creates some of his own designs and puts them on shirts. And again, it's not his full-time thing at all, but
Yeah.
he really enjoys doing it. And
Again, killer mustache.
yeah,
Killer mustache.
yeah,
Color face, or
he's awesome.
He's
you
like
say
a six.
backblast.
He's
Is
a
that what you
beast.
said?
Yeah, he's like 6'5" and just fucking yoked.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
he's in the
He's a Marine.
yeah, he's in the Marines. Yeah,
Yeah.
and but he came out to our event this past year. So we had a Airbnb, and he was one of our guys. He came there for like a day or 2 days. It was he stayed there with us.
God,
And
what a 2 days it was.
yeah, he was awesome. But again, it's
That's
just again
great.
His designs, I think you would love.
Mhm.
I'll check that out for sure.
Luke has a lot of his like designs like tattooed on him.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's kind of weird, but yeah, no,
That's
Luke,
awesome. That's another thing that I've always been a firm believer of, and what I've done in some other like imprints that I've created in the past is like artist collaboration, of like going to someone and being like, Golf Broccoli, do whatever you want, use whatever medium you want, AI, draw it, use crayons, whatever, just make a Golf Broccoli logo. And that's some of the things that I'm trying to I'm going to implement probably in 2024, is working with more artists like that. I'll look up Backblast for sure. I mean, that might be a great place to start too.
No,
but
absolutely.
I really do dig the almost, I've heard people say like the skateboard culture combining with golf. I really think there's a lot of cool points of view.
that's what
style.
Backblast is.
Is
It's
it
kind of
okay?
similar
Yeah.
into that. Yep.
Yeah,
There's
so like a
others
lot of his
have
is
you
like checkerboard and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like he's got his own gloves. He calls them hit mittens.
Hmm.
Okay.
And they're just checkerboard. They're based off Vans because he's from SoCal.
Yep.
So he grew up skateboarding, surfing, and stuff like that. But it's all checkerboard, stuff like that. He's got custom ferrules on his golf clubs that are checkerboard.
Yeah, he's got all sorts of cool designs, but that's like one of his like more popular designs, I think, probably. But does most of all of his, they're all drawing. Like, he draws them. It's
Yeah,
really
like he
cool.
just released a shirt where it's the overlapping fingers, but it's got like a checkerboard glove on it.
I love it. I love it.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever heard of Others Golf Club? Have you ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
follow them. They do some really out there stuff too.
Yep.
I think they're
They do
more
golf
event.
balls and all sorts of stuff now. I think it started off as like towels originally.
Yeah, yeah, and well, do they do a lot of events too? I didn't know. I don't know really what their bread and butter is, but
I'm not
uh,
sure. I'm sure they put on a bunch of events, but I'm not too sure if they're
yeah, there's a lot of growth, and
there. It is. It's a big golf. It's a big industry, but at the same time, there's so many cool brands out there. And we're normally, you talk to a lot of these people, and they're all super supportive of one another. So it's like not just like trying to like take over the market or kind of be a
sure,
dick to somebody. They're definitely
sure,
like
sure.
if I win, you win. We kind of win together, kind of a thing, rather
I'm
than.
actually wearing a Backlash shirt.
Are you?
Yeah.
But
Nice plug. Hey,
but
I have
no,
I have
I
one
know
more
where I. Oh yeah, go ahead.
one more question, golf related question. Y'all are familiar with the TGL League coming out, the Simulator League in January?
Oh yeah, yep. With the Tiger Woods deal with Rory.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
It's still pretty like for me, like I haven't done a whole lot of research. I know they've already signed golfers. I think Justin Thomas and some of the most of the PGA Tour guys, some of the
I
younger
think it's
guys.
kind of dumb. Hot take.
It'll be
It's
interesting to see what
getting really
happens.
mixed reviews. Like, I mean, a lot of people, I read a lot of the comments, and a lot of people are definitely bearish on the whole idea.
It's a stadium, right? And then they basically
Definitely. Yeah,
they're in the stadium and then they play like closest to the pin, kind of like Top Golf, but it's in a stadium. Is that kind of my understanding? They get points. I think that's kind of
I
how.
think one of their yes, I think also one of the bigger draws is like it's instead of like a traditional simulator, which is a big screen. I think the screen is like I th- not this, but it's almost going to be like the sphere that's going on in Vegas right now,
I
where it's
love
like
that thing.
visually it just looks
The big ass
bananas.
jack-o'-lantern they did on it.
Yeah, that's one. I'm going to
It's-
Vegas. That's one of the reasons I'm going. I want to see that thing so bad.
Are you going inside?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Well, I'm not. Yeah, it's not till the end of November.
And like,
But I'm
what are you
taking a quick
seeing?
trip with my
Show?
wife.
Is there
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like a show, and I think they. I don't know the specifics. It's like a.
How do you
Um,
not know the specifics, but you're going?
because it doesn't really talk about it. It's like a general
sign me
admission
up?
ticket for you to kind of like. Yeah, I was doing some research on it last night because there's like I think they do like tours, but then there's also like there's like an actual show that like is different effects of such. And I don't know if it's more or less like here at the MOA and Mall of America here, they have what's called like the flyover. And it's basically supposed to be like you can pick like a country flyover or like the United States. And it's like you actually like sit in your seat and then
It sounds
depending on
like Soren at Disney World.
that's probably like so like if you go to New York or like if you go to Antarctica or whatever it might be, like it'll have like
Antarctica would be dope. It'd just be white.
it's gonna get cold. Like it's not just like the visual, but like the temperature and everything it like
Yeah, like
changes.
I take it
4D.
back. Antarctica sounds awful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very cool for like 2 minutes and then I'll
yeah,
pass. But
right.
but
Like,
yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see. The I know that they have like a bunch of events like I think lined up already, like
yeah,
starting next year for this
yeah,
league.
yeah.
But I always we've talked about this before. I think they should do like a prime time event, like a night golf series
Well,
instead
this
of
is yeah. I mean, this will be Monday night football. It's taken like Monday night football slot. I think it's going to be 9 o'clock on Mondays after the Super Bowl is over. So I think even just from like I'm curious how America will react to golf at that time. The format, I think, is what's going to make or break it. But I
okay.
do think, like you said, it is really going to be interesting to see golf at prime time like that and how it's received. And I think man, I've been watching it really closely for a long time, and I'm really excited for it. I'm not so sure which side of the coin I take. Do think that simulated golf there's a place for it, and
Mhm.
it's going to do well, but a league for it, I don't know. I think it's
They
really
do have some big names and arguably the biggest name behind it and who kind of, supports it or backs it or he's like one of the
Ooh.
biggest investors, Tiger Woods.
Oh,
So
he
he's
moves the needle, right? I mean, like
I'm
yeah,
not a
so
Tiger guy.
we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, yeah, it's exciting. And the prime time thing, like I think that's really important. And we don't for me, like I get excited during waste management, which is what, in April? Or
yeah,
no, yeah,
or
that's no, it's not April. That's in February, isn't
It
it?
kind yeah,
Actually,
because
because
it's
it's
kind of around
during
Super
it
Bowl.
was last year was
it
during
was
Super it was the
it was
same
the same.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like it is nice to see something different rather than just like an actual golf tournament. So we'll see.
I think that one's special because it kind of kicks off the season
For sure.
like unofficially, but like
Yeah,
for a lot of people that's like the first unofficial major.
yeah. It's funny how much that plays.
We'll wrap it up here. We just have just some quick rapid fire questions, just a
Sure.
few of them, and then we'll wrap it up. So we appreciate your time. I know you're a busy person, but the first one here, pretty simple question. What is your favorite pre-round snack, post-round snack, or mid-round snack?
What are you eating on the golf course?
Yeah.
On the course, at my course at the turn, I like the chicken salad. It's scoop in a to-go cup with lettuce, tomato, jalapenos, and then crushed up jalapeno chips in there.
Wow,
You
it's in
lost
a-
me at tomato.
it's in a cup.
It's like a scoop. It's a scoop of chicken salad, and then you mix all that stuff in there,
Okay.
and you can just sort of like scarf it down. That's money. Afterwards,
Take out the tomatoes, I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good. It's quick.
I like to add some broccoli though.
A little bit of broccoli, sprinkle it in.
Just a little
Very-
broccoli in there.
Just a little dust.
You get a chance to buy one golf course and live on it for the rest of your life, except for St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, and of course Augusta National. What course would you choose?
Oh, that's a good one.
And I'm assuming I have to deal with the seasons too, right? It's not like I'd be living in.
Yep, exactly.
Oof.
That's the hard part. It's like you can pick a really nice course.
I'm
but
living
then
on
it's like
Half Moon Bay.
Half Moon
Did
Bay,
you get that breakfast burrito?
but it's usually like that's kind of like the temperature there, like all year round.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know
But
if I would like that.
I
Like I
would.
loved it out there, but
The hard part is like I love it here.
yeah,
If we live on a golf course here, it's useless for half the year.
I would say, so I guess money wouldn't be an issue, right? It's just like you're living
money's
there.
not an issue. Yep, exactly.
Maybe maybe Riviera,
Okay.
or maybe like LACC. Maybe one of
LA
those.
Country Club?
Probably Riviera because you'd be close to the beach too.
Get some. I
See,
like that answer.
but I have a better one.
Okay, you go for it.
Well, no, let's do that one and then we'll ask mine.
Okay. All right. You're on the first tee. What is your walk-up song?
Oh, great one. I love that question. I think I'm gonna go with my default answer that I've always had as like my slow motion walk. I'm just gonna go with that. I haven't thought about specifically for golf, so I'm just gonna say Bill Withers, "Use Me Up."
Bill Withers, Use Me Up. Okay. I'm gonna play
Google
that
it if
after
you
we
don't
get
know
off.
it, and if you
I
hear
was
it,
gonna say, I probably heard of it. I've heard of that name. So all right, I'll check that out.
Yep.
Go ahead, Dom.
Oh, so I've been asking one. I don't think you've been on a single episode that we've asked this.
Yeah. I think you were telling me about this if I'm remembering.
So
right.
I was listening to the You Betcha Radio
Oh, you
podcast.
betcha.
Shout out to them. They're out in Fargo, I think. So I can't take credit for this, but they were talking about, like Derek just asked about walk-up songs. You're at your funeral. What song are they lowering you down into? Like,
It's a dark question.
so like my answer is Like a Pimp by David Banner.
I like that.
Because then you're
That's
like,
raw.
because it's a sad, somber moment, right? Like everyone's like crying, and then you just,
someone's like, cue the music.
and then they're just like, this is Dom's final request, and it's David Banner, Like a Pimp. Do you think anybody would be like crying at that point? Like maybe of laughter?
Everyone's just like, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they might still be crying, but they'll be smiling too.
Yeah.
I think
That's
they-
what I'm saying. So like, what would your lowering song be?
I don't even know if I would have one that I could think of.
I'm doing Like a Pimp. Sorry, mom and dad.
You know what song? I would maybe do the same song that that my wife and I walked out to when we got married.
Which one is that? Bill Withers?
Song by the Insane Clown Posse
Really?
called Forever. And if you have never heard this song, don't look up the video or anything, because they did a video, but it got scrapped and they released it anyways. And it's but the song is like a chef's kiss.
They
A
have some good
bittersweet
music.
song.
Yeah, is it an older song?
Came
So I'm sure
out
I've heard it.
in 2010,
Okay.
2011. Yeah.
See, what would yours be? Because I have
Yeah,
an
what would
idea for
yours be?
you.
I don't even know.
You could do the Thong Song by Cisco.
The thong song? No, I don't think I the thong song.
That would get the people talking. That would get the
That would
people.
be like no, I don't know. Because like for me, like I would think I would like have something sentimental, but at the same time, it would be kind of funny to just totally switch it up and have some sort of like
Well, and like
lighthearted like song to like
when I'm always
not that
talking,
like Wale's Pimp is lighthearted, but it would be a lighthearted like
it's one of those things where it's like I don't want my funeral to like be a sad thing.
more of a
Yeah,
celebration.
because so it's like, why would it be go down with like the like by the wings of the angel or whatever? Like that song would like make everybody cry.
Yeah.
That would suck. Why not
What
do
if
like a
you did
pimp?
like a gospel version of like a pimp, where you sort
There
of
you
like,
go.
Well, here's
You're like,
here's
hey, I've heard this song
so like
before.
my number two would be Bone Thugs and Harmony,
Oh
like
yeah.
oh, Crossroads?
Crossroads.
Crossroads, that's a
Yeah,
banger. I
beautiful.
love
That's
that
great.
song.
That's
See,
great.
because like that kind of goes hand in hand, right? But then
Yeah.
you're just like, damn, it's Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Like this guy's got cred. Like this guy, you know,
Grandpa knows what he's
wanted.
doing.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing.
But Dom Dom's legit.
That or it's be like some Pop Smoke stuff, like Hawk'em.
I'm gonna do NSYNC Bye Bye Bye.
That's good too.
Bye bye, you know, it's like
Drop it down,
you
dude.
can have all the Papa Bears do the dance.
There we go. I was trying to think of something clever of like it's my last,
Yeah, they won't even like lower you; they just push you in.
just drop me in. Yeah. That's a good question though.
I
mean,
like it.
It's different, but I
I
like
do
it.
like
Um,
Girl, get down on the floor.
what is so we'll ask a food related question. I'll have Dom finish up with the food related question, but what is your favorite club in your bag right now?
my favorite club in my bag right now. Maybe say my gap wedge or my putter. And I don't say that often, but like putter's feeling nice right now. Putter's
Right
feeling
now,
nice. Yeah. And that's not an always thing. That's just, that's a right now. I think my
like at the
putter's
moment, right? Yeah. No,
the
I
moment.
hear you. My putters
You
is
know
hit
how
or
that
miss. It can be really
yeah.
good or really
What
terrible.
about you guys? You guys have one that you're
Oh fuck.
Normally, I'd say my driver, but I haven't
okay.
played consistently, and I'm not a long ball hitter by any means, but I'm normally pretty straight off the tee, and I just this year I've been so inconsistent. So I normally it's my 52-degree wedge and
Mhm.
my driver, but
So we've been playing a lot of courses, and I used to carry 56, 58, 60. Why? I don't know. It's what I had. It's stupid. So now I carry 52, 56, 60.
That's
And
fine.
my 52 degree is from a good friend at Haywood.
mhm.
That might be my favorite wedge in my bag. And I have it with the raw finish. So
That's good looking.
it's gonna get rusty pretty soon. I love hitting it. I love the spin. I love everything about it. That being said, my putter is my favorite.
Good. Consistently, like, are you the guy? Are you a putter? Like, is that
I'm
your
Dom's
shit?
a good putter,
Yeah,
yeah.
you should ask. Yeah, you should answer.
Me, like I said, I'm like hit or miss. Like I can be really good, but more times than not, I'm always throwing a couple three putts in there, which is brutal.
My favorite, we were playing the ocean course at Half Moon Bay earlier this year. We're out there with like video people, so we're making content, and nobody thinks to videotape me,
Well,
little old
just
me.
at that moment.
Like nobody thought of it. I'm off the green. It's got to be a good 40, 45, 50 feet and kind of uphill. I'm like, they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just gonna like putt it. Like, what do you mean? What am I doing? Putt it. It's tracking. They're like, what's going on? And it just drops.
Well, I see. I didn't even, for the record, like, because I was in the other cart. So by the time like he was already like putting, I just turned around to like walk towards the green. So I saw it drop, and then I see Dom like way down there. I'm like,
I'm
but
like,
yeah, like everyone's like stunned and like we don't have it. Our phones aren't even on us.
and the worst part is I'm just kind of like walking. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pick up my ball, and they're like, what did you do? I'm like way back there. I'm not gonna chip it.
That was the most like undramatic
It's like
putt
any
too,
just
like celebration.
another day, draining a 50-footer, no big deal.
Just walk like he
Well,
did
we
it like
also
from the
had one
previous hole.
um at our first ever tournament. We went out and played the course
Oh yeah, yeah, beforehand.
beforehand, and I had chipped in. It had gone kind of weird, so I'm like up on like this hill on the green, basically. Like it's in the rough, and I'm just like, If I chip it, it's gonna go like 400 yards over the green, and I'm never gonna see this ball again. So it's me, Derek, and then the course pro. And I'm like, fuck it, put it down through this thick grass. It's like twisty turbo, it just drops. Everyone's like, I'm like,
pretty sick.
I was like, yeah, can I have my ball back, please?
All right, we'll ask this last question. We'll let Dum ask it. It's always a food related question.
Yeah, that's the thing with us. It's golf and things, but we love food.
Yeah.
That's like a big part of who we are. We have a food group chat, and it's constantly just food. Anyways, it's your last day on Earth. What's your breakfast? What's your lunch? And what's your dinner?
Breakfast is going to be
And you can go to a restaurant too. It could be homemade, whatever you want. Sky's the
Okay.
limit. Yep.
okay. I would say my breakfast is going to be. It doesn't have to be this place, but a place like this. It's like a Bobby's. It's called Bobby's. It's like our local Denny's, basically, and it's like more or less grand slam, like pancakes, bacon, scrambled eggs, toast, butter, jelly, jalapeno grits.
What kind of jelly you doing?
I'm doing, good question, strawberry, raspberry. I usually pass on like the orange and the peach.
Did you do the grape at all?
Hear me out.
I'll do great. I'll do great.
Hear me out. Take some strawberry, mix it with some blueberry jelly.
I'm not mad at that. I will try
Change
that.
your life.
Yeah, that
Okay,
sounds
this is
great.
also one too. Have you guys ever had peanut butter on your pancakes?
No,
I have.
also-
I
It's
have.
actually really good.
No,
Yeah,
It is good.
yeah.
I'm a
My dad
syrup.
used to do that as
I'm
a
a
kid. I'm
syrup
like,
syrup
that's
guy.
weird as shit. And I tried it, and you just spread the peanut butter like it was like butter, and then you pour the syrup on. And like,
You know what my
it's
grandpa
actually
does?
really good.
He takes, so we're very off topic at this point, but we'll circle back, I promise.
Fine, fine.
We have fruit salad on the 4th of July. My grandpa will crush up Oreos and put it on it.
Fruit salad.
Yeah. And I was like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, oh, I always do this. I tried it once. Oh my God.
That's
super
like, yeah,
good.
it's like cookies and cream with fruit.
It'll change your God.
I love it. I love
Good
it.
job, Jim. I don't think he knows what a podcast is, but I'll have to show him this.
Shout out, Jim.
My grandma will go, how's your podcast? I was like, do you know what it is? She goes, no, but how is it? I'm like, it's good.
No, but I
Yeah.
want it to succeed. Yeah.
Okay, back to the regular schedule program
Yep.
here.
So that fat breakfast, I think like a big Bloody Mary that you could, like, one of those that you could almost like eat. For lunch, I think I'm gonna do burger and fries, probably like from this one, like there's this local place, I don't even know what it's called, but they do like smash burgers. I would grease that out for lunch, fries, double cherry Coke. And then for dinner, for dinner, I would probably do an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, and I would just eat until they took me away in handcuffs.
you out.
We're like, executioner's waiting. Last meal's over. Like, gotta go. Like, that's
Eat
it.
so much that when they zap you, you like explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like MSG just comes pouring out of my. No, I think I would go ham on a Chinese buffet.
That's
for
gotta be,
my-
I think, our first one with the
buffet,
buffet.
yeah.
But that's a good point. I like that.
Does that mean
As much as you want.
it's funny if you think about it. I have not met many, but I have met some Chinese dishes that I haven't liked, but I've never met an entire buffet that I haven't liked. So it's
There
like,
you go. See,
I'm
That's my
requesting
man.
a buffet.
yeah, that's awesome. Jason, man, thanks so much for taking the time and hopping on the podcast, man. We had a blast, and hopefully we can
Sure
have you
thing.
again down the road.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully one day our paths cross and we can get around it. I'd love that.
Absolutely, that'd be sweet.
Well, I mean, if you want to come out to Arizona in January,
Don't tempt me with a good time. I mean,
We're working on an event. It's going to be a night
Night golf.
golf event
oh, sick.
with Odin. Yep. So we be January 6th. We're still hashing out all the rest of the details, but we do have the course, and yeah, so it's gonna be a good time. So if you're interested, let us know. It's gonna be
Yeah.
we have I think it's gonna be 60
60 people.
60 players essentially.
9 holes, 8 holes.
Yep, 9 holes.
9 holes. Yeah.
Yep.
Glow
It's
balls are included.
yeah, glow ball. It's gonna be really cool. So
Is it
different
so?
kind of.
Is it lit as well, or is it night with just glow balls?
Yep, it's gonna be. They're gonna have certain lights. They said that
They like
are
light up the tee box. I think the green.
yeah.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's
So
awesome,
yeah,
man.
think about it, man. See if you can make that work in your schedule. But we'll be out there for a few days. So
I love that. I love that.
Cool.
Cool. Hey guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
guys have a great week. Thanks for having me on, and have fun out there.
Yeah, man, keep it up the great work, man.
All right, take care, guys.
Take care.